Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday. Look at it. It is massive. This is on 10-minute increments. Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday. Look at it. It is massive. This is on 10-minute increments.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is, Behold, I come quickly. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening clip, that was a video by Gina Marie Colvin. She do a lot of UFO video, so if you get around to it, go to YouTube and just type that in, and that's one of her real video. And also I seen it on the beloved elder page, GMS North Carolina 777, and also I think it was Saints of Jersey. I seen it on their page also, go to those brother page and get edified. But one thing about it though, we seeing right now that our salvation is very close than we yet believe. The day is far spent. It's high time to wake out of sleep. And also what time is running out. So the great and glorious return of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, it is fast approaching. Yahweh Shai Mashiach, he saved, he delivers. The Lord's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So in that first video clip, we seen that massive fathership, went across the sun, it just pretty much just blacked it out. It's so large. It was so huge, and that about me, even though then we know that the sun is very large also. And you see how it just dwarfed the sun. So we're seeing right now, that what is coming is going to be beyond human comprehension. And but the only one that's going to be able to understand and have that understanding is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And also the Lord told us in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7, he said, behold, he cometh with clouds, what? These what they ignorantly call UFO, UAP, and that about we know them as the chariot of the Most High, the royal vehicles, that the angels go back and forth into this dimension, this fourth dimension, back into the third dimension. So we know that we are very close, man. We're seeing that the signs of the times are here. We're seeing that these Bible prophets are speaking loud and clear. And also we know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And also the Lord is gathering the nation for the controversy of Zion. We read upon judgment. The Lord is getting ready to establish the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So right here, once again, let's read this in the NLT. Romans chapter 13 and verse 11 said, this is all the more urgent, for you know how late it is. Time is running out. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. So one thing about it, it's more closer than pretty much, the day coming with no man working. At the end, it's just speaking out loud. So right now, any given day, a lot of people right now are constantly putting off from day to day, relaxing in their leaves, going on with their daily life. And the Lord is here. The Lord is near. We constantly warning you left and right. UFO sightings are all across the world. We're seeing all these different calamities and catastrophes, just like a domino effect. We already know this man is constantly bringing forth this order out of chaos. You already know about the assassination. We know about these two hangings in the South, and also now the latest one is this one in Pennsylvania. Said I think it was 5 police officers. I think 3 was was unalive, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been all five, but it still is a developing story. So this man is constantly coming with these things, whether it was engineered or manufactured, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Time is running out. It's time to wake up. It's time to seek the Lord, because the Lord, when the Lord show up, that is it. Lord ain't gonna want to hear. Everyone has the opportunity now. This truth has gone out through the four corners of the earth. Then shall the end come. We seeing right now. Everyone pretty much know about the Israelites. The men of the Lord in the highways and the byways, making these electronic epistle, each and every day, digital, man. These things right here are right before our eyes. It's one thing that's obvious and clear, that the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. Also, we know that this devil is getting ready to roll out his new enterprise. That's why we're seeing all this different activity left and right. The Lord is getting closer and closer. We're seeing that the end is very manifest. Our salvation is at the door. We ready to get the hell out of this nightmare. You know what I'm saying? Man, it is here, man. We are so very excited. So let's get this one here in second. It's just not going to be a long lesson tonight. Let's go. We probably go back and look at that video again. Let's get this one here. Let's get this one here about this massive, let's get a little bit more on this, about this massive spacecraft that passed across the moon. Also that 3-eye atlas, you know what I'm saying? They talking about that pretty much every day, how close it's constantly getting to Earth. And they saying that it's not moving like a regular comet. It's moving more like a spacecraft. We're going to get that article in a minute. Then I have another video. Let's read this right quick. Let's give us another example, how the Lord is going to return. Then also we're going to go to Acts chapter 1, when the Lord, after his passion, after the Lord, when he was with the disciple 40 days and 40 nights. I don't want to jump the gun, but one thing about it, he told them, the same way the angels told them, the same way the Lord left us, it's going to be the same way he returned on what they call a cloud, or what they would call a whirlwind, or what we would call the chariots of the Most High. The Lord is getting ready to return. We constantly seeing these different activities left and right. I look up at night, I see a lot of UFO sighting over my house. When I can be parked on the parking lot at night. Now they're showing up in the daytime. So man, we are very close. Let's read this right quick. It says here, 2 Amos chapter 13 and verse 3 says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. So this lined up with Psalm chapter 6, 8, and verse 17. The Lord comes with the thousands of heaven. The Lord's gonna come in that great fathership, and also with the host of heaven, the heaven's army. So the Lord is gonna come back decked to the T. And it said right here, he said everyone that looked upon him, they tremble. That seen him under him. So that lined up with what? Revelation chapter 1. Every eye shall see him, even the one that pierced him. It's talking about the Roman soul, So everyone is being reincarnated back in the flesh, for what? For judgment, If you can receive that through the Spirit, we're going to get that in a minute. I don't want to keep jumping the gun. I'm just excited, man, because the Lord is getting ready to return. We supposed to be excited. We're supposed to be full of joy, because, all our light affliction is only for a moment. Verse 4 said, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. So when he returned, the Lord is going to set this place on fire with that laser and chariot fire that's coming out of that chariot, that the high concentrated laser fire, pure energy, man. The Lord is coming with that great glory and great power. Verse 5, it said, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the man that came out of the sea, that came out of the what? Out of the heavens, out of the sky, came out of the waters, the second heaven, came out of the Lord came from the heavenly realm. I think it was the fourth dimension into this realm, which in fact is the the third dimension. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, so we already know it. And when you look up during daytime, you see all that blue sky up there. You know what I'm saying? But beyond the firmament or the Van Halen belt, that is waters, the waters of heaven. So Lord came through that sea and bust through that firmament, man. And also this right here is talking about World War III. You know what I'm saying? It said this great multitude of men. It's talking about these militaries that was there when the Lord showed up in the valley of Jehoshaphat. So you can give you a little visual what's going on right here. They try to subdue the man. And they was very afraid we get into, and hey man, when they see that ship, they're gonna be pretty much pitching in their pants, but the Lord is gonna put the Spirit upon them when they see that great fathership. That's why the Lord said, "Look to the brightness of His coming to the east." That's where everything is getting ready to go down. So the Lord is gonna return in the midst of World War III. You know what I'm saying? Verse 6, it said, "But I beheld, and lo, said He had graved Himself a great mountain, and flew upon it." Verse 7 said, "But I would have seen the region of the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not." So this second area is talking about, he's trying to describe this great fathership. Say it was like a great mountain. He couldn't see the ends of it from the south to the east to the north. He never could see the ends of it. So that's how much power is getting ready to come upon this earth. It really pretty much, He blacked out the sky when the Lord returns. So, give like a little example of that when you go to that movie, Independence Day, how that ship came on that cloud, rolling, folding over that cloud with that orange and amber colors and stuff. The Lord's going to show up with great glory and great power. That's what we call it. So Edwards described it the best way he could, a great mountain that He flew upon it. So He was in that spacecraft flying, you know what I'm saying? And He said He could not see the ends of it, so that's where we at right now. Hey man, I'm telling you, man, the Lord is getting ready to show up. And then one thing about at this particular time, if someone keep hollering about they don't believe, we really don't give a damn. So now let's get this next little news article here right quick. Sorry about jumping all over the place. See, can I pull it up? Will it pull up? I got this right here off of Google search right here. It says here, we're just going to read the title, and I got a video to bring it out with a little bit more edification. This one here is by IFL Science. A quick Google says that NASA responds to claims that the interstellar object, Three-Eyed Atlas, is an advanced alien spacecraft. And out of the Bible, we know it as the fathership. So we already know that they have the high power telescope. Out they pretty much done seen the angels. They know exactly who are operating these so-called alien spacecraft, which in fact we know them as the chariot of the Most High. They ignorantly call them UFO or UAP. Esau know exactly what's coming. You know what I'm saying? Out about it look just like us Negro men. You know what I'm saying? Out about it that he's in for a rude awakening. It's gonna be the curse that come upon the whole earth. Bad news for the heathens and the truth there, and also good news for us, because the Lord's getting ready to return. So we're just going to read this title once again. It said, NASA responds to claims that the interstellar object, Three-Eyed Atlas, is an advanced alien spacecraft. So right here, they already know it was out there. They got that, what's called that James Webb telescope. They got another one called Hubble or something like that. So they've been seeing these things from left and right. So that's why this man is constantly moving, and warp speed, seeing that his days is determined. They know exactly what's going on out there in space. They don't want to tell you everything, but guess what? He can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So we seeing that the Lord is removing the covering cast. The Lord is constantly showing His presence each and every day. It's like a faith booster to see what is happening right before our. The Lord's constantly letting us know, hey, I'm here. Endure. Hey, just a little while longer. The Lord is getting ready to show up and show out. So now let's get this last little video, and we'll get about one or two more presets, and then we'll close out, And once again, I hope that you will get edified.
Three-Eye Atlas is changing again. Just weeks from its closest pass to the sun, astronomers in Namibia recorded the interstellar visitor shifting from a reddish glow to a bright green coma during the lunar eclipse. Instruments confirm the change is tied to a surge in cyanide production, now measured at nearly 20 grams per second, along with an unusual release of nickel but no iron. Most researchers say this is cometary activity, ice and dust breaking apart as it heats. But Harvard's Avi Loeb argues the data is anything but typical. He notes the nickel signature matches a process used in industrial refining and warns we should not dismiss the possibility of a technological origin. Loeb has gone further, suggesting that 3I Atlas could deploy smaller probes as it swings through the solar system. Some of those, he says, could even reach Earth and appear as unidentified aerial phenomena. With its sheer size, strange trajectory, and chemical profile that defies expectations, Loeb is pressing NASA to aim spacecraft at the object while the chance remains. The interstellar visitor will reach perihelion in October, inside the orbit of Mars, before heading back out through the solar system. Whether it is simply a rare comet or something more, its behavior is unlike anything we have tracked before. And for now, all eyes remain on 3I Atlas.
So now let's start the lesson. Go straight to the point. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. So we seeing right there, they said it seemed like a lot of little objects, other little, like little small little spacecraft, which in fact are the eyes of the Most High. He sent out his scouts, each and every day, like, the eyes of the Most High is in every place, beholding what the good and the evil. So the Lord is very close. He's watching over what? His elect. So one thing about it is that we know that we are very, very close. We're seeing that we're in this transition of power. We seeing that, the tables are turning. The writing is on the wall, and we cannot wait. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7 said, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So added by he cometh with cloud. So we seeing in the first clip that massive fathership that went passed across the sun. We seen how massive it was. Showed it several times. That I'm gonna try to see, can I pull it up again? It's on reel. And the latest name is Gina Marie Colvin. You can see that whole video clip she got, and then she has a whole lot of other interesting UFO video. That's all she talk about is UFO video, pretty much. So that right there, that lady could be an Israelite. But anyway, seeing right here, behold, he cometh with cloud, what they even recall what UFO or UAPs. That's what we are constantly saying. 3I Atlas, saying that how it's moving, saying that it's not like a regular comet. It could be an alien spacecraft, but we know it as the fathership. The Lord is going to return in a spacecraft, what they call clouds, what they call, what we call clouds. They call it in the Bible. We know them as the chariot of the Most High, the royal vehicles, the eyes of the Most High. The Lord is in every place, beholding the good and the evil. The Lord is getting ready to show up. We see it right here. It said even the one that it pierced him, which in fact is talking about these Roman soldiers, they are back in the flesh again, reincarnated once again, if you can receive it through the Spirit. Now we're seeing right now that the Lord is getting ready to show up, man. We constantly warn you left and right. These Bible prophecies are not slacking down. The Lord is getting ready to execute judgment like we have never seen before. So, man, we're very close. Let's get this. Let's go here. Let's read that once again. It said Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7 said, Behold, he cometh with clouds. Who is he? Talking about Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And the angels, the thousands of angels that is going to be coming with him. Let's read it once again. Behold, he cometh with clouds, saying, every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So people, when they see the Lord, a lot of people gonna be wailing here. Oh, save us, cover us up, let the rocks fall upon us. You know what I'm saying? The one that sits on the throne, hey, we get us out of here. But it's gonna be too late. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So let's get a little bit more on this cloud. You know what I'm saying? So what the Lord left in, the Lord is going to return the same way he left. So, let's go to his ascension here. Let's go here. Let's get a quick, let's get a little bit of this this right here. I think it's Acts chapter 1. I think it's around verse 6. I'm going to go down to verse 6. So this, he's telling his disciple, when the time would be, he was letting them know that, he's getting ready to go back to his father and everything like that after his passion. But, so we don't want to get too far into that, but that's a whole nother story. It said, Acts chapter 1 and verse 6 said, and when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Verse 7 said, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or season which the Father has put in his own power. So he was telling the disciple that, it's not for you to know, for him to know. It's in the power of Yah, the great King that sits on the throne, which in fact is Yahweh, the Most High. He know when the time would come when he would send his son back to come to deliver us, and bring forth the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So it's in the Father's power, you know what I'm saying? So one thing about it, so that's what he waiting on. He waiting for the great King Yahweh to give him the green light. So let's read this once again. Acts chapter 1 and verse 7 said, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times and the season which the Father has put in his own power. So one thing about it, that's reading the NLT. It's a little bit more clear in the NLT. He replied, the Father alone has the authority to set those dates and times, and they are not for you to know. So that's plain and simple. Verse 8, it said, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and into the uttermost part of the earth. And out about the uttermost parts of the earth, it's talking about America, Babylon the Great. So the Bible is spot on. The Lord's getting ready to return. Let's talk this right here. Let's get this here. We're getting to the point now. Verse 9, it said, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. A cloud. So he left in a spacecraft, a UFO, a UAP, what they ignorantly call UFO or UAP. So you get a little better understanding. So the same way the Lord left, it's the same way the Lord is going to return with great glory and great power. So hey, that's where we at right now. The Lord is getting ready to return. So man, it's that time and season that the Lord is getting ready to return. So now, let's go to our last and final script. We're going to close out here with the title of the daily lesson. Let's get this one. Now, let's go to Luke. Let's get this one out of Luke, and we might get one more. Just a quick lesson, you know what I'm saying, just putting it together through the Spirit. Luke chapter 21, we'll start up at verse 26 and reread down. Luke chapter 21 and start up at verse 26. And it says here, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Verse 27 says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Once again, the clouds with power and great glory. So we know right now, a lot of people are seeing these signs of the time. They're seeing these different objects, out in the heavens, and also the Lord said the powers of heaven shall be shaken. How would that happen? The Lord gonna shake the heavens to the foundation with these IBCM missiles and also that laser and chariot fire. The Lord is getting ready to come back and destroy Babylon the Great, and different parts of the earth will be hit, will be nuked, but America will be totally destroyed. Israel will be rebuilt back up. It's going to be nuked also. But that's just a cleansing agent. The land got to be cleansed before we can go back in it. We know right now that the land is trodden down by the Gentile, but the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. And also, once again, the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is fast approaching. Luke chapter 21 and verse 27 said, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Every eye shall see him, even the one that pierced him. So the Lord's going to come back. Everyone going to know that day that this is the Lord. And it's going to be no more excuses. No more not knowing this, not knowing that. It's going to be perfectly clear. Everyone going to know this is the Lord. And one thing about it, every tongue shall confess, every knee shall bow down. Verse 28 said, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws nigh. Woo, man, we are very close. Look your ass up. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? Salaki for that. Just look up. You know, just in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, a lot of our people don't even look up at night. Don't even take the time. They looking straight ahead. You know, they only believe what's right in front of their face. And one thing about it, they in for a rude awakening. They get ready to F around and find out. Let's read this once again. Say, and when these things begin to come to pass, what the prophecy, the signs of the time, it said, then look up and lift up your head, for your redemption draws nigh. So we seeing right now, you know, you keep having these UFO sightings every day. These news organizers putting out stuff. Even they haven't come up with these UFO committees, you know, talking about, you know, what they're going to do about it. They ain't going to be able to do a damn thing. They can come with a fake alien invasion, but we know that the aliens are the angels. Also, they can come with whatever they want to come with. It's going to be obvious and clear when the Lord show up. So let me see, can I start this video out and we'll close out. See, can I get it back? If I can't get it back, we'll close out. Let's see here. Let's see, can I get it back? Let's go back and see, can I go back to it? See, it's a real video. Let's see, can I play it one more time? God, this is powerful. Let's see, can I get it back up right quick? You know what I'm saying? You know, this lady here, that's all she do, put out these videos. Here it go right here, and we'll close out.
Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday. Look at it. It is massive. This is on 10-minute increments. Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday.
Woo, man, I'm telling you right there, man. Hey, you better get your house in order. Get your mind right. Let's get this one more before we close out. Something want me to go here. Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21. And let's go to verse 12. Let's get this right quick. That's the title of today's lesson. Revelation chapter 21 and verse, what is verse at it? Revelation chapter 22, Salakia. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12. And we get this right quick. This is the title of the day lesson. The Lord wanted me to bring this out right quick. But so you see it in that video. I showed it twice because the idea about it, you know, it's obvious and clear that, you know, that we are very close to the second coming of our Lord and Savior. Our salvation is at the door. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, you know, we're ready to get the hell out of this place. You know, you're not ready to rule. You're getting ready to die. If you love it here, you're getting ready to die. You're not getting beamed up. You're getting burnt up. So let's read this right quick. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12 says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, said to give every man according as his work shall be. Verse 13 said, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Man, whoo, this is powerful right here. So then we're going to stop it right there. So right now, the Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is coming quickly. The Lord said he will come like a thief in the night. Our salvation is at the door. It's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Behold, I come quickly. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.